In our ongoing chart crime scenes investigations of particularly bad data visualizations, we've examined breaches of contrast and clear meaning. Today, we will focus on the last principle in our effective data viz framework, refined execution. The design practice that ensures your charts are well-crafted and free of distractions. Refined execution involves visual artistry, ensuring that font selections, lines, shapes, spacing, and color work together to display your data with clarity and grace. When these components are poorly managed, or worse, neglected, even excellent data can become ineffective. Now, we will investigate a visualization that is chaotic from the outset, messy, noisy, and missing the refinement that good design requires. Today on Art+Science. Hey there, I'm Kevin Hartman, Associate Professor at the University of Notre Dame and founder of the Art+Science Analytics Institute, where our mission is to make you a better data analyst. This week's culprit is a chart titled VC Dealmaking Activity During the Year, which illustrates the monthly distribution of deal volume over 6 years. At first look, it is chaotic. 6 lines, 6 colors, slanted labels, thick outlines, and circular data markers make the entire graphic resemble a big bowl of SpaghettiOs. And it's not just overwhelming, it is downright confusing. To pinpoint where the mistakes are made, we'll evaluate the situation using the last principle of successful data visualization, refined execution. This principle emphasizes achieving clarity in your data viz through skilled design. When it's done correctly, charts become unobtrusive, letting insight shine at the forefront. This clarity is achieved by focusing on 4 particular design elements: lines, which we will include fonts a part of, shapes, space, and color. Let's now examine the evidence of this poor data visualization. At first glance, this chart appears disorganized. 6 thick, jagged lines traverse the space, each in a different color, all vying for your attention. The outcome is not clarity, but rather confusion. And the main issue is that the lines are presented as if they all hold equal importance, which is not the case. 1 year, 2016, is significant for a specific reason. Its sharp decline at the end of the year is the key story. The other years merely offer context. Instead of using the lines to highlight this insight, the chart bombards the viewer with a chaotic mix of data. The clutter extends to the labels, where month names are slanted diagonally, an awkward choice that diverts attention from the data and makes reading more cumbersome. We read most effectively along a horizontal line. Rotated text of really any kind impedes our understanding, and worse, draws unnecessary attention. Labels should enhance our chart, not overshadow it. The fix here is to pull the story from the lines. Highlight the one line, 2016, that matters, and fade the rest to the background. This makes the narrative clear and the contrast intentional. We should also simplify and smooth the line work. Rather than using distracting data markers, take those off, reduce the stroke weights of the lines, and eliminate the jagged angles that draw focus away from the overall patterns. As we said, orient all text horizontally. This improves readability and removes unintended emphasis from the labels, keeping the viewer's attention where it belongs on the data. Use consistent professional typography. Stick to a single font style and size to minimize distraction and reinforce visual polish. The primary element in this graphic, the line, is a fitting choice. Using a line graph for these data makes a lot of sense. Line charts are ideal for illustrating trends over time. However, the impact of this choice is diminished by the clutter of extra shapes that contribute nothing and worse, divert attention. Circular data points are sprinkled across each line, and these shapes don't enhance the trends, they distract from them. When the line shape tells the story, data markers only block that view. This results in visual chaos instead of a seamless visual experience. The confusion is compounded by the legend. Rather than placing labels directly on the lines, The designer makes the audience play a matching game, looking up at the legend and then down at the lines and back again. This adds unnecessary mental strain. The fix here is pretty simple. Remove the data markers. Let the curvature of the line tell the story. Adding these decorative shapes does more harm than good when they don't serve a clear purpose. Use direct labeling. Place the line's label, the year, at the end of the line on the line itself and get rid of that legend as it is terribly unnecessary. Use the line shape to tell the story. If 2016 is the deviation and that's what is worth exploring, let that line carry the message. Subdue all the others so that the focus is unambiguously placed on that 1 year, 2016. The arrangement of this chart seems poorly planned at best. The Y label is squeezed in, is awkwardly rotated and pushed aside. The X label are all slanted and give this indication, this feeling that the designer couldn't fit it all into the size of the page that they had chosen. The design of these labels do not enhance the understanding. Rather, they make the viewer work even harder because they grab attention with the way that they're presented and how awkwardly they're laid out on the page. The fix here is pretty clear. Reconsider the axis label placement. Rather than rotating text along the y-axis, place the label horizontally above the vertical scale. That's an easy place and there's lots and lots of space for it. Also, avoid tilting your labels on the x-axis altogether. If you're running out of space, rather than trying to slant the labels to fit it all in, just drop a few labels at an understandable cadence. For instance, rather than presenting every month, present every other month. Or what might be even more effective is to use a 3-letter abbreviation for each of the months rather than trying to present the whole name of the month. These fixes will allow you to create consistent spacing throughout and balance the margins around the chart and give that sense that the visual has room to breathe and help you structure the feel of the chart deliberately. Space is a crucial design element. When it's utilized effectively, like these fixes would do for this chart, it ensures your chart appears balanced instead of cluttered. In this chart, each line is given a distinct color. There are 6 altogether, yet none of them really catch your eye. The color scheme consists of blues, grays, blacks, lacking any kind of clear visual hierarchy. There is no prominent hue to attract attention, no contrast to emphasize the message. Consequently, all the years presented are visually equal, which might be fair from a data neutrality perspective, but it fails in terms of storytelling. If your aim is to spotlight a specific insight, such as the unusual year-end decline in 2016, then the design should reflect that emphasis. In this case, because the chart is visually neutral because of the color choices, viewers are left uncertain about where to focus or what is more important. Color should not be a mere decoration. It should guide the viewer. The fix here, use color to create visual hierarchy. Choose one color, ideally a bolder, more contrasting tone like a red, to represent the focal data, that's year 2016, and relegate the other lines to the background by choosing lighter, desaturated tones like a light gray to allow it just to sink to the back. Here we are applying saturation with intent. A bright, saturated red will immediately command attention. The muted grays and soft colors of all the other lines will signal that these are supporting context without competing for your visual attention. Reducing the color palette down to just 2, the red and the muted gray, will increase clarity. This limited set of purposeful colors does more to tell a story than a full spectrum of indistinguishable hues. When applied accurately, color does more than just enhance appearance. It provides clarity and provides message. It directs your audience's attention by saying, focus here. This chart is overwhelmed by distractions. There are too many bold lines, too many colors, and poorly placed text. It lacks a clear focus and results in the loss of an insight. A polished design can transform a chart from merely functional to outstanding. It's often the key difference between confusion and clarity. When you build your next data visualization, remember this. Lines should be simple, smooth, and purposeful. Shapes should clarify, not complicate. Space should allow your data viz to breathe, not crowd it. And colors should lead the eye, not confuse the viewer. As you continue to hone your data storytelling skills, focus on clarity, precision, and most importantly, keep it refined. Thanks so much for watching. If you haven't already, take a moment and subscribe to this channel. Like this video and share it with anyone who you think is interested in data analytics. Every single week, we are bringing new, exciting, and important videos on data analytics to this channel. We would love to have you there for the journey. Also, be sure to check out the links in the description for additional art science resources and sign up for our newsletter to get exclusive tips, course updates, and more directly in your inbox. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.